is, but it gives a screenshot for me to do. So that's why I'm doing that. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Big Matt Diamondine is in the house. I'm Big Matt and Diamondine. We cover all local stuff, and we also cover college. And now you have stumbled across this YouTube channel to bump into us and talk about college. And there's a big elephant, no pun intended, in the room.
We're going to that.
And I know everybody wants to talk about it, and everybody wants to analyze it because everybody's a coach, and everybody needs to fire Nick Saban and go.
We're going to do that last, though, aren't we?
Everybody needs to go, and Saban and Golden needs to be fired. But
I don't agree with that. I won't get into that here in a minute.
Well, we're
got
going
a good point to make on Golden.
We'll lead the college off with this a little slower. We're going to ramp up into it because we want you guys to hang around with us all night. And wherever you can watch us and listen to us. We're on Spotify, we're on Applecast, YouTube, and right now we're on Facebook Live. And just a little announcement, maybe, Dean. Me and Todd's talked about this a little bit. We hadn't even done like I ain't even got the podcast on right now.
Right.
So I kind of messed that up.
Right.
But I can do this right here, right now. What's up, everybody? Spotify and Applecast. This is the college portion of our show. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Big Matt Diamondine is in the house for another show, about show 108, I think. 109. So thank y'all guys.
That's a lot of shows.
For podcast
Did you think when
people.
we started hanging out in 14 and goofing off in your living room that we do 109? If you count those shows, we've done 111. Which shows nobody's seen those.
Oh, yeah. No,
where are they?
They're on YouTube. They're on my page, on my personal
those old
page.
Ones?
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's the Todd and Matt show.
Was it the Todd and Matt?
Yeah.
Well, we get deep in that. We cut up more in that than we do here. That was absolutely for fun, but it was fun.
Let me take this
7 years ago. Wow.
Right here. There was all your local scores. We got them up there. We'll roll off that and we'll go to college.
Okay.
I'll do this one first, Dean, just kind of ease our way into it. But we're probably where you're going to switch over to YouTube because of what just happened a few minutes ago. Facebook, I'll just tell you real quick because we need to move on before our battery dies. Facebook is crushing these KPSs and FPS, and those are numbers for some people knows what it means. The digital quality that you're seeing us in is the best it will ever get. It'll never be any better, and that's just how it is. And there's nothing we can really do about it. But, however, on YouTube you can record it up to 4K, and that'll never happen on Facebook. And there's reason behind that, and I won't get into it. And also,
I'm sorry.
just out of those things too, and we're just growing. And Facebook is keeps you boxed in, and their new algorithms, and that they shut down on us last week, and it killed half of our views. We missed from 800 views to 500 because the whole network just shuts down.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
So we're going to change gears. So if you want to still keep hanging with us, we'll be the same page will be the same, but just when we go live, you'll go to YouTube. And we'll be on there live, and you can go back on our channel and watch it anytime. And I'm sure I'll post it over to Facebook sometime. I think
our biggest fans will probably do that.
But you got to go subscribe so you'll know when we're going to be on. That way, so go to our YouTube channel right now. You can find it. Just hit subscribe. It's the Matt and Todd Show with the blue logo. It just says the Matt and Todd. Now, the one on the microphone is an old page that our producer put up years ago. It's got some old videos on it, but that's not us anymore. It's us, but it was...
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So anyway... we're going to be doing that probably by the end of football season or so. For the end of the year, we're going to switch over. 2022, we're going to hit it up YouTube. So I'm trying to get people prepared now. Start subscribing.
Right.
So we'll do this,
Dean.
Dean.
Work out better anyway.
In the long run, it will.
Yeah.
It's like being from being in watching TV in your house to being in a theater. YouTube's a difference. There's a lot of difference. It's a whole different platform world. We can grow because we're never going to grow any more than what we have now here because this is just our county and that's what we cover. But college, we like to grow the channel.
Yes.
All right, let's say this. The Brain Bowl. Georgia Tech and Duke. 31-27. Georgia Tech takes down Duke. Listen to this, Dean.
All right.
Georgia Tech throws for 300 yards and rushed for 140.
And got beat.
Well, no,
they won.
But, when is that?
Yeah.
When's the last time they throwed for more than they rushed for?
Oh, I don't know. I've never, Paul Johnson on there with the
Oh, wing T.
Oh, yeah. I mean, whatever it was they were running.
Yeah.
I don't know. Option.
Yeah.
Used to rush for 300 or 400 yards every now and then.
Always, yeah.
I don't know if they averaged it. I'll go back and look. That'd be a good little.
Duke throws for 292, and they rush for 190. So the Brain Bowl goes to Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets, a rambling wreck.
You want me to go over these top 25 scores?
Yeah, hit us up.
All right quick, and then we're going to go. Guys, this is just, we're not going into nothing here. We're just telling the scores, and then me and him
Yeah, we'll break them down.
break down and go into games. All right, Cincinnati beats Temple 52-3. Cincinnati in the top 5 for the first time ever, Matt, that I can remember.
Yeah.
In our lifetime.
Yeah.
All right, ASU, Arizona State beats Stanford 28-10. Michigan State, Rutgers 31-13. Ohio State hammers Maryland 66-17. Florida beats Vandy 42-0. Tennessee looking good.
I know. We'll talk about them too. They're putting a lot of points up on people.
45-20 over. So they are. They're doing very well.
They got Georgia next.
Beats South Carolina 45-20. Missouri beats. No.
Yeah.
Mississippi beats Arkansas 52-51.
Kentucky's got Georgia.
Oklahoma comes back and beats Texas 55-48. Wake Forest survives against Syracuse 40-37. Georgia beats Auburn 34-10. Boise State upsets BYU 26-17. SMU beats Navy 31-24. Missouri holds on against North Texas 48-35. Iowa comes back, beats Penn State 23-20. Notre Dame survives against Virginia Tech 32-29. Michigan, Nebraska.
I know it's not a thing. We were watching the score on the bottom of the screen go, and we were watching, I guess, the Bama game, wasn't it?
Michigan beats Nebraska 32-12. We were watching Bama. Oh my gosh.
What was it, 32 to
29? It was 29-26 at one time in Nebraska. All right, Kentucky beats LSU 42-21. That's a shocker. And the last but not least, the shocker of definitely this college football season, which we're going to talk about later, or pretty soon, is Alabama gets upset by Texas A&M.
Yeah, your new number 5 team would be Alabama because that losing to a non-ranked team,
Right.
Which that would be
Shock.
100 wins by a program to win, never lose to a
101 since he's been there. Is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time was Louisiana Monroe, the pay-per-view game when he got there, his first year or two, or whenever he got there.
1 point.
They lost that pay-per-view game.
Yes.
And they were like, why did we hire this guy for? What are we doing? We should have fired him then. We wouldn't have lost this one. I tell you. No, I'm just kidding.
Dog it.
Sick of Saban's idiot. I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't have lost A&M in 12.
Let's see. You got our picks for, how do we pick Penn State, Iowa? Did we pick that one?
Yes, I went with Penn State. You went with Iowa.
Iowa wins 23-20. Petrus was 17 for 31 for Iowa. He threw for 195, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And Goodson rushed for about 88 yards or so. Now, Clifford was 15 for 25 for only 145.
Did he get hurt?
Yeah, something happened. He come out, they pulled him out. And he rushed.
That hurt him.
He rushed for 36, so Iowa takes that one. What about Oklahoma, Texas?
Man, I mean, I looked at it, and Texas was hammering them.
I turned it away because I thought,
this is done.
Yeah, I started doing stuff for the show or doing notes.
And they just stormed back, and I saw it. And I'm like, okay, it was 31-14. I'm like, Texas. And then 38-20. And then next thing I look, it's 38-27. And then it's 41-34. And then Oklahoma's got the lead.
55-48. Oklahoma dashes.
And won it on a run.
With time running off the clock. Brooks, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that one there at the end.
Kennedy Brooks, right?
Yeah. Williams throws 25 times for 212 yards, and now Texas, he had 34 passes for 388 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Did Rattler play?
Yeah. Well, they pulled him earlier.
Did it hurt?
No, he just wasn't playing good.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He pulled him.
Wow.
They did the old Bo Nix flipperoo there.
Huh. They didn't wake him up.
Well, he yeah. I mean,
just trying to, maybe.
Yeah. And what about Arkansas Ole Miss? That was a good game. I watched most of it.
Let me get those stats.
It just went back up 52-51. I mean, the game comes down to like 2 plays there at the end. And Arkansas had their chances to win the game. Jefferson played a fantastic game. He's an up and rising star. He had 25 for 35. He threw for 326.
And rushed for 85, Matt.
Right.
They had 678 yards.
They did.
678. And I don't want to get...
There's over 1,200 yards in offense in this game.
I don't call plays. I never have called plays. 20 years of coaching at some level, never have called plays. But I didn't like the play call on the 2.
I didn't either. They'll roll out and they just...
Well, because he was killing them, dropping back, and he's so tall.
Yeah, he's big. I'm running a quarterback keeper or something. We're going to run RPO or something down there close. I want the ball to be in his hand to make a play, not run a flood route.
Well, he did. They flooded that side. There wasn't nothing there.
Nothing.
And I don't know.
They were ready for it.
Yeah.
Because they'd run it and scored on it earlier.
And he threw it high. But, yeah, he just dominated. I mean the yards, 411 for him. The running back rushed for 139.
Sanders.
The receiver, Traylon Burks, 136 receiving.
You see his hands in that video?
Burks.
It's just...
Oh, yeah. I know.
it wouldn't even... It was like this much difference. The little girl, well, she ain't little. She's like a college star volleyball player. Her hands are big for a lady, and it was just, way bigger.
Really?
Yeah, he's just huge.
What about Ole Miss? What do you think about Corral bouncing back after the Bama game?
Well, he throws for 287. Parrish rushed for 111. Connor had 110 with 3 touchdowns. But Corral, he rushed for nearly 100 yards. So he nearly had 100.
He had 280 passing and 94 rushing.
It's a good response for him. The commentators of the game were really big. I mean, they were pushing for him. It seemed like to win the Heisman.
I think it's going again. He's got good stats. Who's the Heisman guy?
It's jumping in and out again, guys. If it's jumping, I'm sorry. We better be moving to YouTube quicker. It's back on green now. It's just jumping in and out. I see the red bar. When it does, it'll just drop. It just drops feeds, and it's dropping frames at 0.9%, which is not terrible. But let's just try to get through and before it dumps us again. We're going to be on YouTube probably the next couple of weeks.
I don't know. Who's the Heisman hopeful now? I mean, it was Young. It's not Young anymore.
No, it shouldn't never be. He never played football.
4 or 5 ball games, and you stick him up there.
Yeah, you can't do that. He's never even played. He played it Maitre D and won, and he don't even know how to lose. This is his first loss.
That was pronounced Mater Day.
Yeah,
I would say Maitre D.
It's Maitre D. That's how I've heard it said. But on through ESPN people. But I guess Corral will be your next guy, and you leading rushers for the SEC and the conference right now.
Mike Wicks says it's good. Bo, what? What about Bo Nix? Mike,
he's up for Heisman, comeback player of the year.
He did make a good comeback. I'm not gonna fault him for what he went through yesterday.
No, he lost Georgia.
Come on, be for real.
So Arkansas, Ole Miss, we got the end there, and let's see what else we have there.
You had some stats on Georgia. You did Georgia and Auburn. I did Alabama A&M.
Well, what did I do with them? Georgia Tech, there's Alabama, some stuff. Well, I had it wrote down there.
What, Georgia and Auburn?
Yeah. Next week's games. No, I guess I don't.
Hold up. Next week.
I got next week's stuff.
Oh my God, y'all bear with us here.
That's all last week's stuff.
I don't see it.
Well, that ain't one way to do it.
Right. Well, I kind of know them. I know Georgia rushed for. I know, but Bennett played great.
Let's do it this simple.
Did you not think Bennett played great?
Just hit the old button there. Georgia goes total 432 to Auburn's 318. Yeah.
I want to talk about one guy before we get into this, Mike, and that's Ladd McConkey.
McConkey.
What you think about that?
McConkey has 5 receptions for 135 yards.
And Brian Knapp, you watching this, he's from Chatsworth. He
135.
North Murray.
He averaged a 26-yard average on receiving. His long was 60. Bowers had a long for 33. He had 2 for 43. And, of course, Washington comes in with a 1 long for 25. Zamir White gets 79. Milton's 43. Bennett had 41. And he also threw for 231 with 11-yard average. His QBR balanced out to be a 95.3.
McConkey's also a redshirt freshman, man.
Now we're going to get on the Bo Nix train here, so everybody just jump right on there. He was 21 of 38, threw for 217. He did throw an interception. He did not throw a touchdown, but the problem here with the game, of course, we knew it was going to be this way.
They dropped 6 of his passes.
Yeah, and another team in the state also had 6 drop passes.
Yes, 6.
But Auburn rushed for 46 yards. That's why they lost the game.
Yeah, Bigsby, I mean, this is just my take, and as an analyst or whatever, I'm not an analyst, but us having a show about college football, we can give our opinion. I don't think Tank's touching it enough. Tank Bigsby.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of the O-line, right?
It is. I mean, something's going on. They're just constantly running for their life. All day, Bo is just trying to scramble by no design of his own. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
The longest rush was for 9 yards.
All day. 9 yards.
By Hunter. I mean, they go for 272, receive the ball. Well, after 6 drops, and you just say if it's 6 yards a catch, that's 36 yards, so 36 plus 72. So Bo could have possibly thrown for about 350 or 340.
Could have, yes.
Now, I don't know if that's going to win the game for them. Now, let's see, Auburn's defensive guy of the day would have been Puckett, and then Jackson had 6, and Dean's brother from another mother had 5.
N'Kobe.
Yeah, they had a good game. Georgia's just going to be hard to score on.
Georgia's going to be tough to score on.
They look like.
And Smoke Monday getting thrown out of the ball.
That's so stupid, man. Don't get me started.
Now, he hammered that guy.
I don't care.
That's early first quarter. He's done. Best player on their defense.
Go play tennis. Just go do something else. I just don't.
To me, he's the best player on their defense.
Yeah, just like
one of them.
With Moore getting thrown out at Bama, third play of the game. Well, it just totally changes. Hey, guy, Branch, you not played, started a game this year. Go out there and let's play.
Right.
He don't know what's going on. He ain't reading coverage or nothing.
Yeah, he plays sparingly, but no, he doesn't play like Moore did. We'll get into that in a minute. But yes, I thought that hurt Auburn. Now, do I think it would have changed the game? Of course not.
No, I don't think so.
It might have been closer.
Yeah.
But Georgia's strong. Georgia's good. I mean, let's be for real. Their quarterback's not even playing. I mean, I think Daniels is better than Bennett.
Let's look at.
What do you think, Benton Burge, Mike Weeks? I just think Daniels is better than Bennett.
I guess. I've never been a fan of Daniels anyway. He started like 3 or 4 games, and they brought him over here from, where is he from, USC?
USC, yeah.
We just don't know.
I don't know. We really don't. He's played in 7 ball games in his Georgia career.
Next week, Bama's going to match up Mississippi State. They're 3-2, and we're talking about Georgia. So they're going to host Kentucky next week.
Wow, that's going to be a good one. Kentucky looks great. Great. Running the ball, got a good quarterback. Of course, they got Rodriguez.
I got them in my top 10. Let's see. Dean, your top 10 is you got Georgia 1, Iowa 2, Cincinnati 3, Oklahoma 4, Michigan 5, Bama 6, Ohio State 7, Oregon 8, Penn State 9, and Kentucky at 10. And I'm a little different here and there. I got Georgia, Cincinnati, Iowa, Bama 1, 2, 3, 4, Michigan 5, 6, Oregon 7, Penn State 8 is Kentucky, and 9 Oklahoma State, and 10 I got Michigan State. I had to put somebody in there. I'm not going to rank Ohio State. I think they're terrible. I think they're a joke.
Did you have Oklahoma ranked?
Yeah, no.
I mean, you don't have to. You can put Phoenix Online in there.
It's just by how we're watching them play. Ohio State, no, they really let me down. We had Oklahoma and Georgia pick play for national championship. And Georgia looks like they're carrying on the suit, but Oklahoma, they're winning their games. But man, it's just pitiful. I mean, Texas is just not really good.
Every game's close.
Very. So they're finding a way to win, but I mean, you jerk your starting quarterback, and it's hard for me to put them up there when they don't even know who their starting quarterback is.
I didn't know they pulled him. I know they're booing him there, which that's a shame. That shouldn't be going on. Mike Weeks said that pretty much that Daniels is definitely better than Bennett, but that Bennett's not doing a bad job. He's a game manager. That's fine.
Yeah, they're just neither one of them's really that. They don't have they're just not. They're not Matthew Stafford's. But I mean, who is though?
Well, they say Daniels is when the time comes.
I just don't see it.
We don't know yet.
I don't.
They say he is.
Florida is going to play at LSU. LSU's 3-3. Did you ever think LSU would be 3-3?
No.
I don't know.
Well, not this year. No, because they had a lot coming back. They had a lot of people transfer out of there. They're calling for his head, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Your undefeated Oklahoma State crew is going to be at Texas. 4-2 Texas. Oklahoma State's undefeated.
And Texas is 4-2. I thought they were 3-3.
Then we'll save this for last. Bama's going to be at Mississippi State, which is 3-2 right now. Bama 5-1. Now let's remember, for all you Alabama fans that didn't sleep and has just went way overboard with this, the last time this happened, we won a national championship. Bama did. They went on and won the rest of the games, and I believe the first year they beat Clemson.
Right.
So
they lost to Ole Miss.
Yeah. So it's
early.
It is what it is. And,
earlier than this, but early.
We'll say we'll get in the stats of the game, I guess.
Stats right quick, Matt. You know I love stats.
Bama loses a close one, 41-38. If you go back over here to the box scores in the game cast.
41-38. All right, Bryce Young, 28-48, 369, 3 touchdowns, threw a pick. That one was in the end zone. Robinson rushed for 147 yards. Jamison Williams from Ohio State, 10 catches, 46. Mechie, 7 for 88. So they gained 522 yards off.
Yeah, he had nearly 150 yards.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns and 32 long.
And Spiller, we held him down, or Alabama held him down to 46. A chain gained 34, but how do you say Calzada?
Yeah.
285, man, 2 touchdowns. And I'm like Nick Saban. He made the comment, the big guys who killed him, the big tight end.
Yeah, Smith, Watermeyer had 73.
Yeah, 3 for 73 and a 9. Smith, 6 for 85.
Chain had nearly 50 catches, and so did Spiller. So they run those backs out of the backfield to get it to get out of the pressure, and that's kind of where the damage was done. Bryce Young throws for 370 yards.
He threw 50 times.
But there was about 6 opportunities drops at timely parts of the game. Mechie had 7 for 88.
There was some drops. I don't know if there was as many as Auburn had, but there was definitely some.
Well, there was timely drops, and the thing is, we can break this down every way and blame everybody, but basically, they didn't show up. They didn't look prepared. We couldn't catch the ball. Our special teams was average. Alabama just looked like a normal football team. They just before half, he come over right after it started, and I was working on these notes. He said, "You're not watching?" I said, "No, not really. I don't see us winning this football game because what I tell you."
I come over, second half.
And what I tell you, what's happening? One thing,
flat.
We're getting our tails whooped up front.
Up front, yes.
Number one, losing the line of scrimmage. Bama lost the line of scrimmage. Period. End of subject. Nothing else can happen. It's like getting a bullet ready to put in a gun. You can't fire a gun without putting a bullet in the gun.
Right.
The offensive line being prepared is how you put the bullet in the gun and bolt it to take action. Well, if you're losing up front, because A&M's offensive line bullied Alabama's defensive line. And Saban knew back in the summer that the corners were going to be a little suspect at best, and kind of knew, what was going to happen. So, what else can you say?
Well, I think the backbreaker was, Matt, and I don't know if anybody's. Alabama blocks a punt, cuts it to 24-17. Then they kick off, and a chain runs it back 96 yards.
Yeah.
Untouched. So, that made it 31-17, and just there was a lot of drops, and it seemed. Look, I don't want to say they just got outright burnt. Some of the DBs seemed confused about who they were covering, and that could be Alabama's system. Of course, everybody's blaming it on Golden, but come on, guys, he's got Nick Saban right beside him the whole game.
Yeah.
So I don't. I've even heard calls to fire him. Nick Saban. Okay, guys, if we believe that Nick Saban's helping out when Alabama's defense plays good, right? Mm-hmm. He's helping out when they play bad too.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
And I'm gonna put it on them. I mean, they just had a tough night in the secondary.
Yeah. Well,
they didn't really give up a lot of rushing yards.
Saban said it when the season started. He said that back in the summer during the spring and stuff. He was saying this defensive backfield's a little young, and he liked Morris maybe being a young leader out there. But you had a new guy come in, Toa, which he's been a joke. Last night he got exposed big time, reading the plays wrong, whatever. So,
well, that's it. From what I've heard over the years, is Alabama's defensive scheme is very complicated, and I think last night we saw a lot of confusion. And I think they adjusted in the second half, but they by then A&M was fired up and they got the ball back with 17 yards. Had 17 yards in the second half and got that ball and drove 90 or 85, and then got it back again and drove down and kicked a field goal.
That's terrible. I mean, just how they looked deflated. The Bama defense didn't look excited to be there. So, I mean, I don't know how many more ways you can cut it and chop it up. And y'all are going to watch ESPN tonight and tomorrow. And
I'm trying to see how many yards A&M had. All right, 40, 80, 92, 90. Alabama gave up 379 yards.
Yes. Yeah. They had 379 yards, 285 passing, and
96.
94.
And 94 rushing.
94
so
rushing.
They didn't really give up a lot rushing. And most of that, 208, they gave up 96 yards in the second half and outscored them 28-17. But, they were shocked. Does that make sense? I don't think they expected none of that. Texas A&M's not played good this year, Matt. They lost to Mississippi State. We watched Arkansas hammer them. They beat Colorado on the last play of the game, or the last minute of the game, and not played well.
I'll share one more stat with you before we get off. Let everybody go watch
I think they just got took by storm.
The Chiefs and stuff.
Who's the Chiefs play tonight?
Bills. That's fixing to come on. I'll say this, and we'll move into that last bit for the NFL. One thing, Dean, Alabama was 9 for 19 on third down efficiency. 9 for 19.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
And you turn the ball over that many times, and your quarterback's throwing it in the dirt, or he's overthrowing them, and your offensive coordinator threw the ball 3 times in a row from the 4-yard line.
He did do that.
So
you're not getting on the defensive coordinator. You're kind of.
Well, they got to stop them,
Yeah.
And they kind of adjusted at halftime. They didn't give up hardly any. I mean, they didn't even rush for 100 yards.
They gave up 96 yards in the second half.
They adjusted. They were letting guys get over behind them and stuff, but when run the ball. I mean, when it's on the 4-yard line, and what we're going to have to do. And
first down on the 4.
Hats off to Brad Evans. He commented earlier today on the post, and he said, it's up to Bryce. He's the leader of the team. And if he don't start running the ball, this is going to happen a lot more because teams schemed for him. A&M was the first team to do it. This is right in the middle part of that season, and they saw he's not going to run the ball.
No,
so all they have to do is play the run, cover Robinson, and play the pass, and just cover those little slants and stuff. He's going to get his most of the time, but he's not going to run the ball. So that's the third dimension that adds to a game for a defensive coordinator to go, well, I'm going to be up late tonight, man. He's going to run it, throw it, we're going to hand it off. And so without that dimension of Bryce Young running the ball, he's very easy to scheme for. So he's going to have to start running the ball, or next week.
I was under the impression that he was a dual threat.
Obviously not. I think
How many times did he carry it last night? He didn't get sacked much. He can get out of getting sacked.
7 times for -1. So there you go.
I mean, I was under that impression. I think he is a great passer. I mean, he's accurate.
But when there's green and he threw that interception in the corner of the end zone over there, he could have turned, looked to his right, and walked right in the end zone.
Yes. Yeah.
He chose not to. He threw an interception. So most of this game, of course, is on the coaches, and Coach Saban said it best. He said it's on me because these coaches are under me, and it's our responsibility to go out there and get them better. Obviously, we didn't have them ready. They didn't take it serious. And now it's going to be on the players to decide what they want to do. They want to mother grub and hang their jaw about it, or we're just going to go out there and play football and try to win the next game.
And I'll be honest, and don't nobody take this wrong, being out man. Because, hey, let's give 100 hats off to Texas A&M. But I don't think they thought that this could ever happen. Would you agree with that?
What?
I don't think Alabama ever thought that this could happen.
No.
And like we said, we heard Jimbo Fisher talking, and he goes, they've been pumping their guys' head all week that they could beat them.
That's just what to do.
But
I don't know. It's aggravating, you know.
Well, I think they come out and hit them in the mouth and scored a couple of touchdowns quick, and Alabama's like, dang, we got a ball game here. And that's what I think happened.
There ain't much. I mean, there ain't many more ways you can cut it. So, congratulations again to our player of the week, Jacob Cornejo. I'm gonna try to get out there tomorrow and get him up there. I think we're dropping in and out again. It's red box. There it goes back yellow. I can't do nothing about it, guys. So, anyway, tonight's game, I think they're playing maybe right now are 7:30 Bills 3-1 at Chiefs 2-2. Josh Allen's thrown for about 1,100 yards already this season, and of course Patrick Mahomes is at about 1,200 yards passed. So if you want to see a good game,
he's good. I wonder why they drafted him. I think I'm learning why.
Oh yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, he's great.
Jets and the Falcons played in London. Falcons win 27-20.
London.
Yeah, Wilson passed for 192 and one pick, and Matt Ryan threw for 342. And Pitt showed out and had 9 catches for 120 yards today. So
He's
you old
Florida
Gators guys, be excited about that. Now, as far as the AFC, NFC, Cowboys, Cardinals, and Rams are close in the West, and then North Packers and Bears are close, and the Bucks and the Panthers are close in the South. The AFC teams, the Bills are running away with it. Out west, the Chargers and the Buccaneers. Chargers and the Broncos. Hold on a minute.
They had a battle today.
Then the North is the Bengals and Ravens, and then the South part of the AFC, the Titans come back, and I was watching a lot of that. Derrick Henry, he got the slow start, but they come out and win the game. It's kind of sloppy, but
he had a good game. He had 130 yards.
So he goes over 100 yards again. Yeah.
Okay, let me see who won this. Browns.
I didn't.
Well, no, it was 47-42 last time I saw it.
The Chargers and
Chargers won 47-42, moved to 4-1.
So they're going to they may go with the Broncos if they won today. So
47-42. Wow. Mayfield 305 yards. Chubb 161. Let's see what Herbert did. 400.
It's good.
Yeah.
We'll get off here before it kills us again. We've been on about an hour and a half, so we'll cut it loose, and y'all go put your feet up and look for news on the page. Game of the week will be at Sandrock versus Spring Garden. Congratulations again, Jacob Cornejo, been our Big Diamond Player of the Week. And,
he's well deserving.
Absolutely. And we try to spread the award around. We can't give it to one school 2 weeks in a row, and we can't, and we try to go by how we do it in order. Plus, they have to win, and sometimes 2 or 3 teams. Like one week, everybody in the county won 2 weeks in a row, and it's hard to.
Yeah.
So we try to get Center, then Gelsel, then Sandrock.
I don't think we've never
Cedar Bluff and.
We never had a 2-time, do we? Nobody's ever won it.
No, yeah, we try not to do that. At least get somebody else on the team.
Right. Now, obviously, we'll have our player of the year, which that means they're the best player.
Yeah, out of that
according
group.
to us.
Yeah, out of
in
that
our
group.
opinion.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know. I didn't think anybody won it twice last year.
No, Luke, man, we had to flip coin. Luke could have won it a couple of times last year.
He could have.
So we just love to spread it around and. Let's go different schools with it, but congratulations to him. And all right, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and sorry about the drop and coming back on. It's completely out of our control. It's your lovely Facebook team. Ain't nothing we can do about it. We're fixing to get off Facebook, go YouTube anyway. So as always, keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God, and we appreciate our sponsors, Warrior Gym, Corey Culver's law firm. He was our sponsor at the game of the week last week, Cedar Bluff and Gelsel, Scott Lloyd's Legal Service, and of course J.R. and April McKenzie down at Cherokee Eye Clinic. We couldn't do it without them. They're responsible for the shirts and our cards and stuff that we get the kids, and this stuff here will be going out to Jacob tomorrow. Get him a card and get him something to eat and get him a cool shirt. All right.
Congratulations to him, and y'all enjoy the weekend. Well, the week. Be back next week.
Yep. See you guys. Y'all have a good week. Peace.